The next guitar on our menu today is a good old hardtail electric. Looking at you with the Les Paul. So, the number one rule you need to remember when you're restringing this type of guitar is only take off and replace one string at a time, especially with a nice maple top like you've got there. Because if you take all the string tension off of your stop tail, that's the only thing holding it in place. It will fall and hit the top of your guitar if you take off all your strings at once. So what you've got to do is just be patient with it and do one string at a time. I'm going to start with the high E. What you're going to do is just take tension off that low E string. Some people will wait until they've taken enough wind off of it that they can unwind it. I get impatient and clip it in the middle as soon as I know there's not enough tension to smack me in the face. So these are very, very simple. If you remember that one rule, that's why they're one of my favorite kinds of electric guitar. So what you'll do is thread it through the hole on your stop tail, pull it all the way through, and seat the ball. Make sure you're in line with your nut and saddle as you thread through at the headstock. And then using that same slack trick as we did with the acoustics, pull some back, bring it forward, transfer it into a wind around that machine head towards the inside of your headstock. Then we'll take our winder and just like before, bring it to tension. How are we doing out there, electric players? Awesome. It always wraps towards the inside of the headstock when you have three on a side. When it's split between two sides of the headstock in any proportion, if you've got a 3 and 1, 3 on a side, 4 and 2, they're all going to wind to the inside of the headstock for that correct angle and intonation. Starts to make a little more sense as we move along, right? Just want to remind everybody out there, especially you internet folks that might not have seen, all these strings that I'm cutting have had tension released from them, so they do not hurt me. If you try to cut a string at full tension, you're gonna have a bad time. It's worth noting, guys, that if you decide the next time you change your strings to switch to a different gauge set than the one you're currently using, your guitar may and probably will require a setup, a slight adjustment of the neck, saddles, and nut to make sure that your neck is straight and your string height is consistent with a good action. Because different levels of tension will play differently on your guitar. All right, and that's freshly strung electric. Thank you for watching part 2. For more information on restringing classical guitars with nylon strings, check out part 3.